Sorry to keep you waiting. The Russian military has begun a brutal assault on the people of Ukraine. Without provocation, without justification, without necessity, this is a premeditated attack. This was never about a genuine security concerns on their part. It was always about naked aggression, about Putin's desire for empire by any means necessary, by bullying Russia's neighbors through coercion and corruption, by changing borders by force, and ultimately by choosing a war without a cause. Good afternoon. The Russian military has begun a brutal assault on the people of Ukraine. He has much larger ambitions in Ukraine. He wants to, in fact, reestablish the former Soviet Union. That's what this is about. And I think that his ambitions are completely contrary to the place where the rest of the world has arrived. That Ukraine was about to invade and launch a war against Russia. And Putin's aggression against Ukraine will end up costing Russia dearly, economically and strategically. We will make sure of that. We have purposely designed these sanctions to maximize the long-term impact on Russia and to minimize the impact on the United States and our allies. Putin is the aggressor. Putin chose this war, and now he and his country will bear the consequences. That means every asset they have in America will be frozen. This includes VTB, the second largest bank. But this aggression cannot go unanswered. If it did, the consequences for America would be much worse. America stands up to bullies. We stand up for freedom. This is who we are. But to defend our NATO allies and reassure those allies in the East. We will limit Russia's ability to do business in dollars, euros, pounds, and yen to be part of the global economy. We'll limit their ability to do that. We're going to stunt the ability to finance and grow the Russian military. We're going to impose and we're going to impair their ability to compete in high-tech 21st century economy. We've already seen the impact of our actions on Russia's currency and the ruble, which early today hit its weakest level ever in history. The Russia stock market plunged today. The Russian government borrowing rate spiked by over 15%. In today's actions, we've now sanctioned Russian banks that together hold around $1 trillion in assets, have also been stepping up, adding the other allies, the rest of NATO, adding their own forces and capabilities. As promised, we're also adding the names to the list of Russian elites and their family members that we're sanctioning as well. Collective defense. And today, within hours of Russia's unleashing its assault, some of the most powerful impacts our actions will come over time as we squeeze Russia's access to finances and technology for strategic sectors of its economy and degrade its industrial capacity for years to come. Companies with assets that exceed $1.4 trillion. The United States will defend every inch of NATO territory with the full force of American power. And the good news is, NATO is more united and more determined than ever. On Tuesday, in response to Russia's aggressive action, including its troop presence, we have purposely designed these sanctions to maximize the long-term impact on Russia and to minimize the impact on the United States and our allies. Putin will be a pariah on the international stage. Any nation that countenances Russia propaganda outlets will keep trying to hide the truth and claim success for its military operation against a made-up threat. But history has shown, time and again, how swift gains in territory eventually give way to grinding occupations. Stand down. He's going to test the resolve of the West to see if we stay together. And when the history of this era is written, Putin's choice to make a totally unjustifiable war on Ukraine will have left Russia weaker and the rest of the world stronger.
Thank you, President Biden. If sanctions cannot stop President Putin,
NATO is more united than it's ever been. and I have no plans to talk with Putin. The idea, you don't see a whole lot of people coming to his defense. The sanctions that we have proposed on all their banks are of equal consequence, maybe more consequence than SWIFT, number one. Number two, it is always an option, but right now that's not the position that the rest of Europe wishes to take. Does the Defense Department of the United States...
So India is one of your major defense partners.
The notion that this is going to last for a long time is highly unlikely as long as we continue to stay resolved in imposing the sanctions we're going to impose on Russia, period.
you recently said that the idea of personally sanctioning President Putin was on the table. Is that a step that you're prepared to take? And if not...
It's not a bluff, it's on the table. Okay, thank you all very much. Thank you.